Hand clap to the massive brothers and sisters. We are finally back. We finally made it to the one and only reaction I'll be dropping on this YouTube platform for today, brothers and sisters. Welcome to this the one and only Mystelics Reacts channel, brothers and sisters. Yes, you want to see what this looks like, brothers and sisters? Tune in to the Mystelics Vlogs channel on YouTube right there. Definitely check that vibrations out. And of course, more vibrations will be on that channel to come in the near future, brothers and sisters. Of course, with all I said right there, don't forget, brothers and sisters, to click the like button. I would appreciate that. Subscribe and turn on that post notifications so you can get the latest vibrations when they tend to come through right there. And then click the bell, click all to be notified, brothers and sisters. And of course, help this channel to grow further and further in that regard right there, brothers and sisters. Of course, big up the masses, man. I have to give you a hand clap, you know. I have to give you a hand clap for definitely tuning in to these vibrations. And with that said, guys, let us get into the vibrations for the day. Of course, we had a meeting, I think, by the United Workers Party crew, some of them. And of course, they were in Grand Fort just the other day, brothers and sisters. So we're going to listen to what Dr. FONTAINE has to say. I think he's one of the individuals that I tend to look up to when it comes down to bettering the economy and actually doing things for the economy. Therefore, I will definitely want to put him to see what he has to say in that regard. Of course, we did a podcast with him, guys. You can definitely check that out on BrBpTV. If you want to get more on that in-depth scope, you can definitely check that vibrations out right. Anyways, brothers and sisters, without further ado, let us get into... Who's that? All right. Okay, let's see if we can move a little forward. Oh, this is okay. He's there. There were a number of them that spoke, guys. There were a number of them that spoke. But I'll post this link in the description below. I also think Lennox also spoke as well. So I want to react to Lennox. I think I'll do that. Tomorrow, brothers and sisters. I'll drop that video for you guys tomorrow. But of course, the link to this will definitely be in the video description, so you can check it out, the full thing, uninterrupted.
Gentlemen, if you can hear my voice, please come closer. The rain is gone now. No more rain until this meeting is over. All right? So join us. And thank you for coming out in your numbers, coming from all over Dominica. I see guys from DLC, from La Plaine, from Marica, from Wesley, from Calibishi, from Portsmouth, all the way Penville, all across. And of course, here in the area, Castle Bruce.
Okay, all over the place, brothers and sisters. Let's continue.
From taxpayers to live in a...
Okay, let's go.
I tell them, listen, there is no way that FONTAINE, as Prime Minister of Dominica, would ever accept $64,000 from taxpayers to live in a house.
But I think Skerrit said the same thing too, you know. Really and truly, brothers and sisters. Remember when Skerrit stated the same thing? And then, bow, he just, you know, got $64,000. He said he doesn't need to live in a mansion. He doesn't need people to pay these things and want the blah, blah, blah. The very thing he said that he would not want is the same thing that he would do. But of course, I trust people on the character. And that's why if he stated this thing right there, I believe he would not... If he does become Prime Minister and actually does take on that, you know, he guys going to happen, brothers and sisters. Here you guys going to happen in that regard right there. So it seems like a number of persons tend to say a number of things, but don't really mean what they say. But based off his track record, I can fully vouch and say what he's saying there, you know, is actually gonna help Dominica, because you can't take $64,000 a month, increase your salary, and then think it's okay, and the people staying quiet.
I tell you, jamais. That can never happen. So I tell you, don't compare me with this gentleman. There is no way that FONTAINE would build not one, but two, but three mansions on the backs of Dominicans, while people...
That's facts. He has the house in Vickers, which he built on the backs of Dominicans. True or false? He has the one that he's staying in. It might not be his own. It might be MMC that give him a house and have Dominicans pay for it. But you get the point. It could be that. I don't know. And then there's another one that is building just by it. It could have been that $64,000 that money has been allocated. I don't know. But could be where these monies are being allocated for a free house. And that money is then being siphoned to build that actual bigger house that is just by the second house that THOMSON is talking about. Could be, brothers and sisters, but what do I know?
Are still living on the tarpaulin. Today I saw a lady took me in a house. My heart broke. She tell me, see where she at? Look at that, what she had to put a house, rain coming into a house,
Yep.
water coming into a house, all the carpet lift up, she have to stuff, you know, she stuff all kind of bedding and so on and old tissues and so, trying to block the rain out. And the man is living in a $64,000 apartment.
Yep.
Man,
Does not care about the people of Dominica.
nope. It's very clear that the officials at the top don't care about the people of Dominica. It's very clear. I mean, when I look at the circumstances of the Prime Minister and see how he's living, and I look at the people, brothers and sisters, the people are elevating, no. Dominica is flowing so much potential here. I mean, I talking to all sorts of people here. All kind of people outside of Dominica that know about Dominica or know about the Caribbean. And then people try to wonder why Dominica has not elevated. It's smack dab in the center. You know? It's where the heart is of the Caribbean, brothers and sisters, the scope. The arc that you see in, brothers and sisters. Dominica is in the heart region. So it can produce for up, it can produce for down. It's not doing that. It's not. Even St. Vincent, boy, Antigua taking all plantain and then turning it to chips and then selling it as Antigua plantain chips. And people watching these things, that boy.
I tell her, don't even go there. That is one thing I can assure you, you will never see that happening. Because I am not in this thing for myself. I am not in this thing for myself. I am in this because I believe that Dominica is a wonderful country.
Yeah, boy. Some people just think, Mystelics, why? I remember my organizers for YouTube tell me, switch over, switch over, switch over, switch over. And I check in, nah, man, Dominica had too much potential. I cannot be letting people just, you know, just not be aware. This is one of the reasons why I tend to do these videos. And of course, I'd like you guys to share them. If you can, if you don't have to. But brothers and sisters, when I do these videos, is so that people can be informed. Number of persons have said, Mystelics, I've left this, I've left that because of what you have stated, and that will help me. People coming from overseas and they prepared to what? But they will face in Dominica. Boy, tell you. Anyways, let's continue.
I've traveled the world. I've been to over 80 or so countries.
Well, it'll be more than me.
And Dominica is one of the most special countries
Of
you will
course.
find anywhere on the globe, on the face of the earth.
Facts.
And yet still we have Dominicans by the thousands.
And guys, keep in mind, it's not just the atmosphere of Dominica now. It's not just the potential Dominica has now. But there's a certain ambience, man, to Dominica. A certain ambience. I've been all across the Caribbean in different festivals and kind of things there. This is the ambience in it's small. Dominica's festival is much smaller than the rest. I think when Burna Boy was there, he could probably contend to places like St. Lucia and, you know, St. Lucia, maybe. No, let me take that back. Maybe St. Kitts. Yes, maybe St. Kitts, brothers and sisters. Maybe could contend during that time when Burna Boy, because they doubled the thing so that more people could come in and what have you. But the ambience in Dominica is vastly different. I was speaking to some Trinidadians who came to Dominica during that time as well. And they said they noticed the same thing too. You know, some people would get paid to come to Dominica. Some of these folks got paid to come to Dominica. They left. And then you don't see them again. But some of these folks get paid to come to Dominica. They left. And they came back on their own merit. Because of that ambience that they felt in Dominica. I don't know if it's something with the atmosphere or the people or something of that sort. My goodness, people need to wake up and realize the potential of Dominica, my brother. Wake up. Too much of us have been left behind. The very people who run in the country saying that. Now to the point now they're leaving that very person behind. Where's Reginald Austria now, brothers and sisters? Not he does complaining, he'll ask, give me some help. Not so.
In Guadeloupe, in St. Martin. Here there's somebody tell me they have Dominican in St. Bart's. I say, what?
Yep.
St. Bart's, a little piece of rock. Just a little piece of rock. You think Dominicans want to be living in St. Bart's?
No. We have people there.
When they could be living in Dominica, going by the river, going by the sea, going Glosho.
And there are houses there too. There are houses there too.
You know, enjoying the fresh, nice air of Dominica. That's be a great country. But because of the economic situation, because of what this government has done to the people of Dominica, you can party, chaque jour, you can quit, you can aller. Live in this country But I'm saying that we are going to be bringing them back. When the United Workers' Party comes into office, we will be bringing Dominicans back. Mark my words.
I've heard Skerrit saying the same thing too. Look, guys, the reason why I'm comparing and contrast is because I've heard Skerrit say that they're going to be bringing back people, and, you know, people will be flying in droves to come to Dominica and all these kind of things there. That sentiment reached a number of ears, for which I know a number of them, and they tried to come back to Dominica. They tried. They brought how much money, saying that they lost how much money. One of the things that apparently the government has asked them, what is it to their benefit? They come to try to do business in Dominica, and the government is asking them, what is it to their benefit? How will I benefit from that? Really? So you don't think when
For those of you who are listening, and even those of you listening, mark my words, this day, the 21st of August 2024, I declare
that was yesterday, by the way,
that when the United Workers' Party has the reins of government, Dominicans who have fled overseas will be coming back in their thousands, because there will be work in Dominica.
I believe so too. I believe there will be work if THOMSON takes over. But the thing is, I also think that a lot of Dominicans are lazy to the point where they would say like, hey, there's work to be done, boy. You know, I'd rather go and beg the Prime Minister for stuff. I'd rather go and do this. I'd rather mediocrity work where they don't have to do much and they just rather go and beg. So because of the begging culture that has been elevated in Dominica, a number of persons would not even want to work. My goodness gracious. To elevate their very standing, brothers and sisters, I've seen a number of Dominicans full of entrepreneurship spirit, trying their very best in Dominica. Their very best. There's also another thing I'm thinking of, that school fails the entrepreneurs because they don't even know what type of business to set up, whether it's an LLC or a sole proprietor. They don't even know what a corporation, how this can benefit. Nobody knows how it elevates and betters yourself. The other day, a girl was talking to me and she said she's transferring her stuff to a LLC so she can properly do her stuff. I say, you should have done that long. You should have done this long time. Long time, so you can able to, in this economy in Dominica, you need an LLC, not a sole proprietor at all. No. But you know, when people don't know and have the education in that regard, or don't even understand, the way I understood these things is from going from a number of places across the world, brothers and sisters. See people running their businesses. What kind of business you have? This is the type of business. Why? This talking to them and make sense about makes sense. How you correlating on this type of business toward the government, and the government on your profits and all those kind of things. All these things. People in Dominica trying their best to see how they can make it, and then the people at the government go, oh, come and sign your business up, and they'll give you no advice. Boy, I tell you, boy, we have a set of incompetent people in positions that should never be there in the first place.
There'll be opportunity.
The very leader is one of them. The reason why I'm watching Dr. Thompson Fontaine speak there, because he has a track record, not just in the Caribbean but across the world. The reason why St. Kitts is, and many Dominicans are flying to St. Kitts, the reason why St. Kitts is the way it is as a result of his advice. And you do think this man should be Prime Minister of Dominica to elevate Dominica? We have we are scared in poor are just doing things for themselves. About $6 billion is outside there. And people, boy, police not supposed to hold them man accountable, not to the laws. Seems like people are loyal to the one that is feeding them, whether it's illegal or legal, instead of them being accountable to the law and following the laws of Dominica. Very interesting stuff.
It is in Dominica, because that's why you leave and go overseas. They leave for better opportunities. You know, in my travels of a few days ago, as I went across Dominica, one of the ladies called me aside, told me she wanted to have a quiet word with me. And she told me a very sad story. She says, I have 8 children. She told me I sent 8 children to school. And those 8 children went to school, and they're in my house, not one of them working.
NDP to pick them up, man. Oh, that's space in NDP again. Okay. There's a girl who told me she was in business for 10 years. I asked the girl if there's any sort of financial backing that you can prove that, say, okay, you've been doing business. She tell me it's not where she wants it to be. I know what that means. I mean, I know what that means. It's just sad, brothers and sisters. Very sad indeed. and then trying to get out, brothers and sisters. Not necessarily living out, because some people, they're trying their best to see if they can go online to get outside clientele, and obviously the clientele will be paying them in US currency and this kind of things if they're able to do this kind of things there. Or you offer a number of services for individuals to better their lives. I think that is a good thing right there. That's one of the things that I noticed the United Workers Party was looking into, especially. I need to bring Monel on the podcast, man. Monel is one of the individuals I think was mentioning about that sentiment right there. I need to bring on the podcast, brothers and sisters. She has indicated to me before that she wants to come. And you know, and anytime, she said, anytime I'm ready. So I think when we need to bring on the podcast. Anyways, let's continue.
You think that right?
Nope.
You think after a woman struggle as a single mother to send her children to school, 8 of them, 8, and yet every single one of them still in the mother's house. They cannot go out. They cannot leave their mother. They cannot say, Mama, need pressa.
That job.
They cannot say, Mama, Mama.
You probably from Mao too, eh? Because they're not in Portsmouth. They say Portsmouth bright and creamy. Not true. Pussy that job leader.
You know how nice it is, man.
All I've been seeing a number of advertisements going out of people requesting people to work and this kind of things there, but you need certain criteria for you to join work. And so there's a few, don't get me wrong, don't get me twisted. I don't want to be a bobbolist in that regard. There have been a few. But based on the amount of people, let's say if I see about 10, 20, let's say 30. I'm exaggerating, brothers and sisters. But let's say I see about 30 vacant positions, brothers and sisters. 30 versus about 20,000 people is a huge difference, eh? You don't think so? Okay.
To be able to tell your parents, take a little vacation. You know, and to think, you know, the pressure on these kids.
As a little boy, one of the things that your mind always tells you, especially if you grow up with a single parent home, is to try your best to relieve your mother. I've heard that from a number of persons right there, especially men who have grown up and say, hey, I've relieved my mother. My mother doesn't need to work again. She doesn't need to do all she does in a house, living, and she gets everything paid for and these kind of things. I've heard people saying these things already on the people who grew up under single mothers. Sometimes they take care of their fathers as well. I've heard that story in that regard. Fathers and mothers do their best to give them everything that they need, and the parents just don't have anything anymore. The children finally make it, and then they rescue their parents. So I've heard not just from single mothers, but as well from fathers as well. The father old, and you know. So I've heard this kind of sentiment. So I know one of the greatest treasures, so to speak, especially from a parents looking at their children, is the ability for them to give back and rescue them. The things that they were not able to do, the children are able to do it for them. In Dominica, that seems like a dream, brothers and sisters. A dream. Unless these people go overseas and make themselves and say, okay, I'll build a house for you. One of my friends growing up in school, he listened to me, he's overseas now. Big up yourself one time. He rescued his mother, built a house for her in Portsmouth, and you know, did something nice for her when he left. He had to leave. He wouldn't have made it in Dominica at all, because I know the man. He would not have done so. To the point where he even rescued, well, after I'm married, he rescued, let me leave that alone. He rescued more people right there. But let's continue.
Because they cannot give to their parents after their parents have given to them. You know, that is where we are in Dominica. That is the reality of Dominica under Roosevelt Skerrit.
But I blame the people as well, because the people seen what is happening to them. Although I fully understand, yes, they bring in people from overseas to vote. Whether they bring 15% or whatever percent to vote in Dominica, brothers and sisters, there are still people facing the facts. One of the things that always mind boggles me, brothers and sisters, is when I listen to people saying, oh, this person's supposed to come and talk to me, or that person's supposed to come and talk to me. You foolish? Why does somebody have to come and talk to you when you're feeling the pressure? You're feeling the pressure caused by the decisions of the leaders, and you're telling me you either don't vote or you're just going to vote the same person that put you under pressure. Makes somebody have to come and tell me that I sitting down in fire. Huh? Somebody have to come and tell me that I sitting down in fire for me to believe them. Not me that have to move out from the fire, brothers and sisters, and try to get water to out it, or try to get somebody who has water to out it. No. Somebody put in fire in you and you tell me somebody have to convince you that you're in fire. Something wrong with humans, you know.
They have killed the dreams of the young people of Dominica. You know, today I just walked down the road with so and a couple of us who walked down the road there. And there were like 10 kids there. We met 10 young boys there. Not one of them working. I'm going to talk about the NEP in a while. 10 of them. And we were talking about their dreams and their hopes and what they would like to see. One of them said, I know we should have our little bike pack up on the side there. And as we finish talking to us, we just, we
right off, of course. At least a little bike, brothers and sisters. I remember when I was working hard, the 9 to 5, brothers and sisters. Working hard, 9 to 5. In this here Dominica, brothers and sisters. And I saved up my money, and I was thinking, boy, if I had to go and buy a car, that's all my money I save up for. I think during 6 no, that was less than that. 5 years, I think. Well, 5-6 years before I bought my bike, brothers and sisters. If I can buy my bike, by car, all the money that I have in the bank would finish. And sometimes you can take vehicle on hire purchase, brothers and sisters. You have more money to pay when the vehicle depreciating. You know that, right? It's interesting how they look at things. You know, you go and buy a vehicle on hire purchase, brothers and sisters. 5 years down the road, the vehicle depreciate 5 times. But you have to pay more money than the actual value of the vehicle, brand new. Let that sink in, boy. And some of the businesses, they're taking and they're writing off the depreciation because it's on them. So not only they getting more money from you, they're also writing it off because the vehicle is under them. Because if you don't pay, you have to give these people back their vehicle. Not true. It's their own. So you see the schematics in these kind of things, brothers and sisters. So you say you're going to save up your money for you to buy a vehicle, brothers and sisters. You can buy the vehicle, all your money go clean. And that is just buying the vehicle, you know, the expense on having a vehicle. Gasa. Hey. That's why you see a lot of people with tea, they don't care no more, you know, they have their vehicle in tea. And they're driving up and down the place. If they have to pay like $500 a month, hey, they're doing that because they know they cannot buy the vehicle, brothers and sisters. Hoping that in 5, 10, 15, 20 years' time, they'll pay off a vehicle that probably would not even be working at that time. Brothers and sisters, we need to understand what is going on in Dominica and understand what is going on in the world. Are our leaders benefiting us, or are they putting pressure on us? That is the question I think we need to ask and stop and think.
I say, but that is something that you can dream about. It happens in other countries. But in the countries where you find that kind of development, in countries where you find that kind of growth, in the countries that our own Dominicans who vote for the Labour government travel to and get jobs and get work, countries where they change the governments.
Yep.
None of these countries keep a same government for 25 years. The same man that think he owns the country.
That can be corruption, brothers and sisters. That's one of the policies that I like about the United States. You can stay there as long. Well, sometimes they might have their own people, putting people in positions so they can take charge. So when that one go, they have another person there coming. That's the thing, you know, you never know. But the system that I like in the United States is that you cannot be there for more than 2 terms. You can probably run a 3rd term controlling somebody else, but you cannot be there for 2 terms yourself. That person might change their mind, even if you tell them they might want to do this and embarrass you and you check, what is that? You know, but you're not there for 2 terms. You're not there for 3 terms. Let's continue.
None of them do it. Most countries that progress, that move forward, is because they change their leaders.
New ideas, new initiatives.
Si yon sa pa ka fe bien, yo ka tire. Mene yo got la. Si yo pa ka fe bien, yo ka tire yo. Tire yo, mene yo la. Tire, mene bini, tire. Yo ka fe sa toute fois. See you, Pabo. See you, as simple as that. And 25 years we tried to tell the Dominican public that this government is not good for them.
That is what I've been saying. How you know, based of your circumstance that you're living in, how you know that what you're living in is not the best that you can do, especially in a country that has full of potential, that is not utilizing its potential to create opportunities for you to elevate. How you living in fire, brothers and sisters, and somebody have to come and convince you that you're living in fire. You there burning and boiling. Hey, things are hot, things are hard, bro. Things are hard. I cannot get this. My children don't get work all. You in it, and your mind not telling you, boy, it's time to make a change. It's time to make a change. And like I indicated before earlier on, brothers and sisters, I understand they're bringing people from overseas to come and vote until the scale, and these people going back in a better economy. Because from time to time they come down to enjoy the festivals and the carnival. You know, they come down to enjoy that time. So they think Dominica is good time. But they know that they will not stay there too long. You see after election how much people in the airport trying to leave. Even some people got fired because the other day when they had come elections, I think it's in 2019, they was having that issue. I think there was some problem in the airport and persons could not get back on time. And as a result, some persons lost their jobs. That's good because that's what you cause. That's what you cause. You come to Dominica to vote to till the scale to the prime minister is killing the country and you're going back to your nice job. Some of them lose their job though. So that was a good thing right there. You cannot be doing this to the people. But the thing is, even if they bring 15% and 40% is voting on the other side, 15%, brothers and sisters, that still means that about 35% of people are still voting the very people that keep it down, man. That is truly something else. Not working.
Minister la ke ka pale kot moi maybe bibi rom maybe big grapefruit ça ou ka vwe c'est monde qui ka conduit ou voiture quand you vini ministère ou voiture mais ça compte nous. What about you? Is your life today better than it was 20 years ago? That is how you should judge your government.
Exactly.
You judge your government by how your life is improving.
That is the classic liberal stance. That is the classic liberal stance, brothers and sisters. Keep in mind, it's not liberal. I'm not any side on that. Check it. But the classic liberal stance is on the elevation of the people. And then the government's supposed to put things in place so that they can give to the people and let the people run with it. They'll create new initiatives, new ideas, new output, new possibilities. That is the best, that is for us, that is the best set of governance you can, from a political standpoint, of political philosophy. Best, brothers and sisters. The government does things, they find the niche, they find the markets, they find these things for us. They tell the people, hey guys, this is what happened in there. We can create a number of monies, blah, 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 in that regard. And then make it happen. So the people can then take it and run with it. And boost. That was what was happening during the banana industry. You know that? There was an opportunity there. People did different things. Whether they were doing boxing or whatever, blah, blah. They were doing things. And building their houses. Cash. You think you can do that now in Dominica? Go and work your office job, brothers and sisters. I had this conversation with Glenn Royce also, you know. Had this nice conversation with him. Why are people looking down? He said he blamed the parents because the parents wanted their children to do better than them. Doing the farming was kind of like a dirty job. Yes, you did get dirty through because you're dealing with the soil. But you had more money instead of having more money and can make and create more money on it, you know. Because when you're working in 9 to 5, brothers and sisters, you're getting a fixed pay. When you're doing agriculture and the market wants more, there's demand for more, you get more money. So parents did do a number in that, but the people, there's no excuse if you're an adult. You realize that, hey, this is something I actually need to get into. That's something I can do. This is one of the reasons why I left 9 to 5, brothers and sisters. I left my 9 to 5 and I will never, by God's grace, never go back.
Not by how their lives are improving. They're doing well. And all the rest of Dominica is catching hell. And that's where we are. And so, people of Grand Fork, I'm here to tell you that the time for change has started. We are beginning our campaign to remove this Dominican Labour Party government and to ensure that at the next election, we will have a united Workers' Party, Team Dominica government.
That's always good and fine and dandy, and I agree. Hopefully, the United States, the United Workers' Party does definitely come in and to be the government under the leadership of THOMSON, and maybe Lennox Linton will be the vice, what do you call that? Acting Prime Minister or something of that sort. Maybe, brothers and sisters, I think that would be a nice combination right there. Ronald Charles and the others, you know, they come in and, you know, in their own sect, and, you know, let Glen Royce also run the agricultural basin, because it's science that brother is doing. Science, man. Dominica is an agricultural nation. Therefore, I think he has wonderful ideas in that regard. But when you look at the whole scope, brothers and sisters, you tend to wonder, don't people see, man? Don't people see? Don't people realize what is going on? But at the end of the day, brothers and sisters, even if you change the government and the people still have the mind frame, because one of the things that I'm understanding in society, because I like to compare Democrats to Labour Party people, their mind frame, because it seems like a lot of people don't like scare it, because they don't like scare it. But if scare was not there, if somebody else was there and they do a little something, they would have supported that team right there. They go right back to it, brothers and sisters, knowing that the party and the people that are part of the party are also part of the corruption of the very process, because they don't hold each other accountable. But anyways, that's a whole other topic right there. But the mind frame of the people is a problem, because if the people do not know how to hold the government officials accountable, and THOMSON is there constantly in 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, he didn't get things, and the people just not holding him accountable to the different things that he says that he will be doing, and the same kind of cycle happens, the same thing will happen over and over. The root of the issue is not necessarily in the leadership. Yes, it needs to change, that's a fact. But it seems like the root of the issue is the mind frame of the people. I remember somebody was telling me about Mystelics, but you need to run because you have good ideas and you can do things. You need to do, at least become the mayor. And what I say, guys, but when I call in people to come and do things and people want to show up, it's the mind frame of the people. This is why some of the leaders don't even care if they do anything on for the people, because they know the people will elect them in Portsmouth. What has Ian done for them? Portsmouth? Absolutely nothing. Then you have Finella coming in talking about bright and creamy. What she has done? Absolutely nothing at all. But it bright and creamy talking about businesses opening for longer periods. That's a... Yo, guys, all you get the point right there. It is what Mystelics right there. What are your thoughts, man? Leave your thoughts in the comment box below. Like I indicated before, I'll also post the link of the video, the full video for you guys to get to see. But I'll also be reacting to Lennox Linton's own as well. I think he had a number of things to say in that regard. Of course, this was not the complete thing of THOMSON FONTAINE. If you guys want me to do, I can also do a live podcast, but that most likely be a bit later on or something of that sort. Anyways, brothers and sisters, what are your thoughts, man? Leave your thoughts in the comment box below. Give this video a thumbs up if you understand it or agree with it. What are your thoughts, brothers and sisters? Don't just let me talk. What are your thoughts as well? Leave your thoughts in the comment box below. Individuals watching from the television as well. Leave your television and go on your phone. Or go on your computer and leave your thoughts, man. I want to hear your thoughts in that regard right there. It's simple to find me. Mystelics Reacts, man. Mystelics Reacts. You know, I've been here for too long for you not know my name spelling. That's something else. Even though some of you just remix my name in the comment box below, but it is what it is. Anyways, brothers and sisters, give this video a thumbs up if you understand it. If you want to see more, definitely subscribe and turn on that post notifications so you can get the latest vibrations when they tend to come. So, by Mystelics, once again, guys, be real, salute the king, be positive.